I can. Appreciate it.
Have you got that one running?
Yes, sir. Used to.
I was standing over there a minute ago, you know, and I had this up like this. It reminded me of something that Ted and Preacher told me about and everything. That after Ted got the deal from Hatton Sumner's, the congressman, permission to and get from the Army those 2 BARs and everything, got a case of ammunition. Well, they had to get used to them. You know, BAR, you don't just grab it up and run out there and go to shooting with the damn thing. So they going down in the river bottom down there doing their shooting down and around the levees and everything. And Ted takes old Preacher Hayes down there with him. Ted says, now, Preacher, he says, just tickle it. He says, don't latch on to that dadgum trigger and everything. He says, just tickle it. And he says, old Preacher, he takes and he gets up there and he draws it down and everything. And he said the next thing he knew, Preacher was up like this. He held on to it and he said that he wound up shooting the goddamn moon. And Preacher, old Preacher Hayes, I asked him about it and he says, yeah, he says, I never could control that goddamn thing. But that was the little thing that I thought of when I was standing over just now about how, with this thing pointing up, Preacher, how'd you get up there?
Climbed on it.
Yeah, it climbed on him and everything. And Ted said Preacher never did learn how to shoot that damn BAR.
Well, I noticed when I was at the library in Dallas, Preacher Hayes had dedicated a plaque in downtown in, what was it, 93 or 94?
No, the plaque was dedicated in, when did we put that thing in the sheriff's office lobby there?
Not 88 or 89.
It was in 88 or 89. Had my kids down there and everything, my little daughter and my youngest son. Preacher got them down there and they did the unveiling. They actually were holding on to the veil over the thing and they pulled it down. And the provision was that the plaque would be moved from that location. And they moved it out to where it was out there by the Decker Memorial, out there in the plaza. And that's where it is now.
Has Preacher since then passed on?
Yeah, Preacher's passed away now.
Was it too long ago?
What is
About
it?
a year and a half.
A year and a half?
A year and a half ago when he passed away. But he was something else. Ted had him included in the book and everything on one thing when they went out to Old Man Barrow's filling station out there. Preacher told me, he says, man, he says, you talk about one scared son of a bitch. He says, I was. He said, that crazy ass papa of yours overloaded me right quick. But you know, that's just part of the things that happened with them. And what the hell? I'm gonna put this baby
Yes,
down.
I know that thing's getting heavy.
Well, you got a damn old 35?
Yes, sir. Like Frank Hamer was supposedly using. Your dad was using this, and
Bull barrel 35 Remington.
right.
And that shootout up there at Sowers Road, not Sowers Road, but on Highway 183 and everything. The one telling shot that was made was by a bull barrel 35 Remington.
It was, huh? Was it like a Model 8? This is the 81. I'm trying to still locate an 8 because the 81, they didn't start production until 1936, okay? And that's one thing that gets me at the Ranger Museum because they have a gun up here. It looks just like this, and it's an 81. And they claim that it was used in the ambush. Well, how could it have been if with this rifle wasn't started production until 36? Hold on a second. If you take that off, you need to hold the bolt open.
No.
Because I hadn't made provisions yet. When you take that clip off, that side that holds it, no, don't close it, it'll fall out.
Okay.
See, it's got the parts right there.
Yeah.
I've got to make something where it would stay in because those rifles come originally with a non-detachable 5-shot clip.
Yeah.
And that magazine was made by the Peace Officers Equipment in St. Joseph, Missouri.
Yeah.
And it was Remington didn't make it. In other words, he did special equipment for the police and sold it, which made it real unusual. Because most clips are built on the gun where you detach them, and this one's built on the magazine, which makes it unusual.
Yeah.
Hang on there.
Well,
All the way in.
The one shot that went all the way through the.
Thing back there. Oh, I got. For some reason, it's wanting to. Don't want to turn back on me. I hadn't had a chance to go back into the gun.
But that was the one shot that went all the way through.
It hit Bonnie and Clyde through the knees, huh?
Yep. Came out the other side of the car. And Ted said right quick, he said, yeah, he said that was when he made his mind up they had to get rid of those Tenny Thompsons. Because Thompson slugs were just bouncing off that car. He said, hell, that was the reason Clyde,
Survived, yeah.
Well, he said
And
that was
escaped a lot.
That was the reason Clyde was interested in driving Fords, because they had that heavy metal in them. Such as that. But they were ready for him down here on May 23rd. Of course, they threw the kitchen sink at them. Everybody was armed to the teeth and everything, but you got to remember they'd killed 13 people. You gonna kiss a water moccasin?
That's right, exactly. Yeah.
You ain't gonna climb in bed with a rattlesnake.
Exactly, yeah.
They had their chance to give up, and had turned it down. Ted had offered, and well, you heard Carrie yesterday when she said that word had gotten that Bonnie would be, completely exempt and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So that collaborates that Ted did try to get them to come in. And what it basically was is he said that he would guarantee them safe passage in, see to it that there were fair trials, that Bonnie would not be charged with anything, and he would see to it that Clyde got to the pen without any problems or anything.
Right. He would do his best, in other words, for them to get a fair trial.
That's right. And word got to Clyde. Clyde sent the word back, don't try it, Ted, you'll only get killed. So,
Right.
there's a lot of stuff like that that people don't know and everything. That's one of the little side tidbits that,
Well, I know, can y'all maybe tell me anything? I don't know too much. I just know a little bit. They said that, Hamer said that the end would have come sooner, but he said in the book that the local law officers made a drag on Ruston, but from what a little bit I've been able to find out, it was from Ringo. So I don't know if they had made a jump, and I don't think your father was involved in it, but because I think they were working the area, but I guess quite a few local people knew they were coming through the area.
Sure.
And but you know what I'm saying? In that part, in Hinton's book, he said that, not Hinton's, Hamer's book, he said the end would have come sooner, but the law officers made a drag on Ruston.
I remember that.
But
I don't think it was Ruston.
I think it was Ringo, is what I believe.
Well, you have so many different things that happen and such as that and everything. Of course, you have to remember that Clyde drove like a maniac. Ted says, hell, he says, you get after him at night and everything, he'd be sailing down a road that somebody would be scared to run down at 50 miles an hour during the daytime and everything. Clyde would go sailing down that road at night, wide open, and be running with his damn lights off. Well, you stop and think about that. You know, I mean, Clyde was one hell of a driver.
That suitcase you have reminds me of that Hamer collection
It is.
that I recovered. It was just identical to that.
Exactly. I know. I didn't know that until I finally made it to the Ranger Museum.
Mhm.
And the curator mentioned, because I didn't think about it, you know, when me and you were talking. And she said, well, you know, I have Hamer's suitcase while he was on the case. Would you like to see it? And I was like, of course. And she brought it out, and I went, no way. No way.
That was in the case like that. Full of stuff.